Righty then.
Alrighty then.
11:23 here in
No, that's
beautiful
actually really
Sydney,
disrespectful.
Australia.
I was about to talk about the way the New Zealanders do their like dance, which is incredible, and honestly,
bro, it's actually amazing.
that shit scares me.
Genuinely.
Like, I can't. I'm not that cool.
Honestly, every time I watch it, it actually gives me goosebumps because like
Same.
I don't understand what they're doing. I feel the
Same.
significance of how important it is, though.
Exactly.
That
That is actually beautifully said, Badaki.
yeah.
That
it's
was
just-
beautifully
it's so,
said.
It's so weird, but let me turn down my brightness to my thing here. Oh, well, that's just turning it off. Okay, that feels a little bit better.
Anyway, shout out to everyone from all around the world, and we don't want to get canceled, so sorry if we say something insensitive. Here we are. What am I saying? This is like the worst start to a stream. I don't even know what the heck I'm doing right now. I need to put this live chat thing on. Here we go. Sorry.
Nah, do your thing. We're doing a Dynasty SuperFlex StartUp mock draft. As always, if you want to be a part of our mock drafts, please join the Discord in the link below. I will be posting, or Zach can post that link, or I can actually write that link in the chat here. I just put it there for you guys if you want to join a mock draft.
All right, let's see if this is gonna work.
Join the Discord, go to Dynasty Mock Drafts. That's where we post the link every single time. We'll let you know when we post the link. We like to give people a fair chance every single time. So if you're not in there, go there now.
I'll tell you what,
Join
we do nothing to help anyone out. Okay? So everyone's got fair shot, fair game here. Okay? And we do our best to make sure that everyone's got the same opportunities. If you're on the live stream, you know. ATJ says Roger showing up like Nicolas Cage was hilarious, but I can't be the only one who thought the movie Con Air was trash. Honestly, I'm not old enough. I've never watched Con Air. Maybe I'm old enough. Maybe I've just never watched it. I've never watched it.
My family watch it in the background. I've actually never watched it fully, so I don't know the references that they're talking about. But I've seen clips and little segments of it. Just haven't really watched it fully as an adult.
Yo, Reach, were you the one who commented? Were you the one who commented on our last live stream? Because I saw your comment and I did choose the 3 spot, or yeah, you said the 3 spot, right? Yeah, I chose the 3 spot specifically for you. I left a comment, but I want you to tell me, because I know you have a mock draft tonight, or you have a real draft tomorrow or something. I don't know, from the 3, and you said, can you do it? I want to do it for you. Tell me what strategy you want to pursue. Let me know. Proofy also thought it was trash, ATJ. Kieran says, what's up with all the Rodgers hype? He's been good without being great for a while. Loses Adams. And am I missing something? Yeah, Rodgers is going to be just fine. He's going to be fine.
He's going to be fine. So 4-time MVP, 2-time or 1-time Super Bowl MVP. I mean, back-to-back MVPs the past couple years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I think this is a challenge for him. Was it? Actually, it's not a challenge. I mean, he was good without Davante Adams. He made Davante Adams good, and then it's going to continue. It's just going to continue, like, because he was great with Jordan Nelson, Randall Cobb, Donald Driver, all these randoms. Not really randoms, but you get what I'm saying.
Sure.
Not randoms now. Randoms at the time, probably when they were all coming up.
Yeah.
So,
Gator says, just remembered I was supposed to ask this question. Aside from the first handful of players, who would you guys say are several of the safest running backs and receivers this year in redraft? I mean, safest outside the couple, like Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon feel like really safe to me. Receivers, Sutton feels really safe to me. Mike Williams, Allen Robinson. Those would be names that come instantly to me. What's up, Raw? ATJ said, are you talking about outside the first couple of rounds? Kieran says, also Titans taking for a free first rounder this year? Probably. All right, let's do it, Yo Reach. I saw your comment here. He says, I'm thinking 2 quarterback, 1 wide receiver, first 3 rounds, but after that, I have no clue. Let me see what I can come up with you. It depends on how the board will fall, but I'm going to do my best for you here. All right. We should switch to the other screen now.
Check. Don't get canceled. Check. Steve, it's funny, bro. How to start a stream? Log into, check. Offensive banter, check. Don't get canceled, check. You got this. Oh, let me join. Sheesh. I won't. I feel bad because everyone keeps saying that we're doing the same spot, but it's because we want to practice.
Yeah, I need to make myself a little bit smaller here. I am just too big. Okay, Badaki, why don't you post the link to the Discord one more time? Tell people one last time how they can join, and then send the link out after you do that.
Yeah. Once again, super simple, super easy to join our Discord. The link is in the description below. Here is the link to our Discord in the chat now. As you can see, join that Discord there. Go to our Dynasty Damn It tab, right? Once you see that, there should be a Dynasty mock draft tab, and that's where I'll be posting the link. You probably see Aaron Rodgers' face right there. It says Dynasty SuperFlex Startup, with Zach saying we are doing a live Dynasty Startup mock draft. Come here and hang. Let's mock talk football. That's where we're posting the link. Okay, so you could probably also see me typing. Give me 1 second as I copy this link. You could probably also see me typing, and I press everyone. Okay, probably say Badaki's typing here. That's where we posting the link. Okay, giving you the time and making this a fair shot for every single one in the Discord. Over 750 people in this Discord currently. 735 plus people. So once again, first come, first serve. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. First come, first serve. Let's see.
Kieran says, I'm talking fantasy wise, not NFL wise. I don't know, Kieran. I actually feel like Aaron Rodgers is being a little undervalued in fantasy right now, based off of like redraft and dynasty. He's probably properly valued, but I would say in redraft, I mean, he's going as like quarterback 14 sometimes in drafts. But let's see what happens as we get closer. What's up, Chris? Gavin says, totally could have missed the response on other live streams. Was offered Kamara and a 24th third for my Juju and Darrell Williams. 12-team, 1 quarterback. Yeah, I like the Kamara side. I'm definitely happy with the Kamara side there. What's up, G Money? Yo, Reach. Appreciate you, man. That's all love. How you darn, Joseph?
All
right.
We just actually did a test.
Okay.
You guys don't know this. We did a test. We want to see if it was even, if it was fair. A lot of people have been saying, hey, I've been trying to click and join these mock drafts. It says claim and it's not claiming. Probably because it was already claimed. You need to refresh your page. That's exactly what happened to my beautiful wife here, Ellen. She
was gonna try.
She tried. She got the link, and to be fair, she had an upper hand because she's not on the delay.
Yeah.
So
no one has an advantage.
No one has an advantage, and she was upset because she really wanted to join because it would be her first mock draft.
Yeah, it's okay.
She's upset.
Tell her to keep trying. You know, you just gotta keep trying.
Babe, you know what? You have a great opportunity tomorrow because we're doing this again tomorrow.
Hey guys, 40 people watching the stream. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. You can tell we are not like other fantasy channels in the sense that we're probably not the most professional people in the world, but we don't care. We love doing what we're doing. And I hope that you guys like watching, you like hanging out, even if you don't get into a mock. Hopefully the vibes are immaculate, delicious, so you can hang out with us. Could you do us a huge favor? One huge favor, and drop a like on the stream. You like that? You like that? And you like that? That's just like that? The reason we ask for that is because it genuinely does help us grow so much. Helps the old algorithm. Shout out to everyone who was able to get into today's mock. Let's have a good ass time. Ask the questions that you want in the chat. This will be 30 seconds on the clock, okay? 30 seconds on the clock. Do not, I repeat, do not get auto draft because you will not be able to have it undone. Words. Let's start the draft. Superflex draft, not tight end premium. Here we go. 30 seconds on the clock. We're off, and we're running. What's up, Long Lake? Gavin has a question there. I'm on the clock.
It's been a minute, Long Lake. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, it has been a minute.
I haven't seen you in the chat for a while. Gavin, Did you guys grow up together or bros from college? Bros from college, or did
Just
you
before
know
you
each
answer
other?
that, just quickly, I want to specifically talk to Yo Reach here because I know you drafted from the 3 spot. You are in such a good spot here. If it's Mahomes, if it's Justin Herbert, it doesn't matter, bro. You got one hell of a gift here at the 1-3. So if it's Mahomes or Herbert, take it. Obviously, if it's Allen as well, you take it. Sorry, you keep going.
No, no, absolutely, absolutely. Um, yeah, we are. We both went to college together. That's how we met. Then we lived in a house together.
Hey, thank you, Soccer Lover.
Soccer lover.
Yeah. We lived in a house where it was a 4-bedroom house and we had 12 guys living there. It was, if those walls could talk, let me tell you what. Thank God they can't.
Oh my gosh.
But I got it tatted. That house meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to both of us.
Same. I
Always got those boys. Just boys that we grew up,
Really
I guess, mine, we became men with. All right, so JT goes, then Chase, then Trey Lance. You're on the board here. I'm assuming you're going Jefferson, but I don't know.
I'm just double checking. I mean, if Jefferson falls to me every single day.
Akil says, got Murray and Lance as the first 2 picks from 107. Am I playing with scrubs? That's beautiful. So you're saying from the 1-7, you got Kyler Murray. From the 2-6, you got Trey Lance. Incredible start, my guy, if that's what you're saying. Oat says, if ETN pops off at the beginning of the year, when does his value have the potential to equal Javonte? I personally do think so. If we see a DeAndre Swift type year from him, I do think Swift is probably the better comparison there, as far as where his value could be.
Yeah, I mean, it could skyrocket, especially the way the reports are coming out, where he's lining up everywhere on the field currently right now, on the outside, in the backfield, on the side of Trevor Lawrence, wherever the case may be. It could, the sky's the limit for ET for sure.
Yeah, but he has to prove it. Gavin says Kirk doesn't like his GM right now. Let's see. Ellen says rigged. I'm gonna kick whoever this is. They're getting kicked. No, I'm just kidding.
She's gone.
That dude Tebow needs to be on a 1-week ban. Tebow actually has hacks. I don't know what's going on, but Tebow has hacks.
There used to be another guy that used to come in our live streams all the time, and we used to call him hacks.
Yeah,
but Tebow's definitely has
he's mastered it.
He's expressed his frustration before when he didn't get into mock drafts. So
now he just he dug through and he figured it out. Shout out to the 46 people watching the stream. If you can do us a huge favor and drop a like for us, that would mean a ton. Chris says, I've tried. I'm too slow, but it's all good. You guys think about maybe getting into IDP next year? Maybe. I would say there's a very small chance that we do, just because we kind of want to be able to offer things that we have good knowledge on.
Yeah. Long
Lake says, hey guys, been crazy with work, then NFT stuff. Happy to be back. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Good brother. To hear you're doing well. ATJ is obviously trolling. Yo Reach says, I hope I can land Herbert, such a good player. Yeah, whoever you land there at the 3, it's a huge gift. Gator says, guys, I've missed getting into drafts. Please don't be hating. You're good, Gator. No one's hating.
You're good.
Sakalova says, I have the 110 in my SuperFlex startup. Who should I target? Now,
I mean, look.
This is interesting because a lot of leagues don't draft the way we do. In a lot of leagues, you see Jonathan Taylor up here at the 1-3, the 1-2, the 1-4. You'll see Chase here at the 1-5. Jefferson at the 1-6. So it really depends on who falls to you. At the 110, I would say I would either take one of the top 6 elite quarterbacks that went off the board here, if they're available, or I would take Jonathan, or in this order, I would go Chase, Jefferson, Taylor, whoever's available. That's what I would do.
Right.
Okay, so this is difficult, Yo Reach, if you're watching, because we're at a place right now where I don't think I want to take a quarterback. I think there's better value here with the running backs, but also Mark Andrews is there. I don't know if you're gonna like this. I don't know if you'll like this. Okay, he said he wanted to go wide receiver. Let's grab Cup here. I was considering going Andrews there, but just because I know you said you wanted to go quarterback, wide receiver, quarterback, or, you know, 2 quarterbacks, 1 wide receiver. But if the board falls like this, I don't think I want to go quarterback in the 2nd round.
Yeah, I definitely understand. Let's see. Should I target 110? Yeah, so yeah, so that. Only yeah, I have the 101 and the 102 and the 109. Kendall said. Yeah, you guys are doing crazy things over there. Dak at the 110. I like Dak money at the 110. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
HJ, how do you feel about CD in the first? I think people. The reason why. Well, I personally don't mind it. I think it's fine. I think the reason why you see CD go in the first usually is because people are okay with the quarterbacks that are going to come back to them.
Yeah.
Because if CD's not there, then you have to. Then the gap is massive. Look at the gap now. CD and then Cooper Kupp, right? So taking CD and then solidifying whether it's Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford, people, you can even go Jalen Hurts. I know some people don't like that. If Deshaun Watson, if you want to take a chance on him there. So I think I don't mind taking CD in the first, my opinion. Paul says, why not Lamb over Taylor? Will probably flip in seasons or 2.
Okay, just I'm on the board, so I want to clarify why I'm making this pick. Jalen Waddle. I love Jalen Waddle. He is my wide receiver 5 in Dynasty. You have Cup here, so you could go Diggs, but I do like to keep my teams somewhat in a window where I'm not solely reliant on completely win now vets. That's something that I like to do. If you look at any of my win now teams, they all have young elite talent. So I personally am not someone who loves to do a dynasty strat where it is only vets and win now. I do like to incorporate a bunch of youth as well. So that's why I went Waddle there. I would have gone T. Higgins if he was available. I would have also gone Matt Stafford here if he was available, but he went earlier than we've seen. Like, because me and Badaki do like Stafford. So this is what I'm thinking here.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think he even said, just keep doing your thing. Don't worry about my strat so much. But it's good if you're in this spot. This is definitely realistic here at the 1-3. So
yeah,
I like it. Trey over Dak at the 110. Some people like Trey, some people like Dak. I have Dak currently higher than Trey Lance in my rankings. I've been tossing up taking Trey Lance at the 110 in our Lima League just because I have a lot of Dak. I don't have much of Trey. So if he does fall to me, I'm happy to take Trey and take a chance there.
I'm pretty heavy Trey over Dak personally. I've kind of been that way for a while now, but I have Trey as I think my quarterback 7. So right outside these top 6, I think Trey Lance is on the verge of being considered an elite quarterback. I know we haven't seen it yet, and I understand people's concerns there, but for me, Trey, I am comfortable spending a late first round pick on Trey as my first quarterback. I know a lot of people don't feel comfortable, and that's okay.
Yeah. What's another question?
Karen says, I want JT again this year. Man.
Yeah, man.
We all do.
Soccer, Stafford or Russ? For me, I think I have Russ higher than Stafford. I actually think they're back to back in my rankings.
Yeah, I do have Russ higher as well. But I don't think it should be I don't think anyone should, I don't know. I don't think anyone should have like a very hard stance on Russ versus Stafford because they're both similarly aged in great offenses. But I think the general thought process is that Russ is taking care of his body really well. So people expect him to have a longer career. But I don't think there's all that big of a difference between them.
HEJ says, speaking more as, would you rather have him over Najee, Swift, or Javonte? I think in that same case, you know, if I think
talking about CeeDee Lamb,
yeah, I would be okay with it personally. Only reason I say that is because in the situation I like this at the 111, one of those guys are always going to fall to you. Specifically the 111. I know it's a little bit hard because every draft is different. But I'm okay taking the chance because I'm okay on getting the running backs in the middle of the tier. You know, like the Mitchells or
Yeah.
Jacobs, the Saquons, whatever the case may be.
I think it does depend on, like what strategy in particular you're trying to accomplish there. Um, but I think it's very close between CD and those other running backs.
Gosh, this is getting harder and harder
Steven
now.
says Waddle got a lot of his rookie points. Justin catches, not even yards. Y'all worried he will be Jarvis 2.0? Personally, no, I'm not. I mean, we've seen success with Tua. Tua will be the quarterback. And personally, I feel like it's the best head coach for both Waddle and Tyreek to succeed. He is a very creative coach. We saw that in San Francisco. And the offense should entirely run around Waddle and Tyreek. It doesn't make sense for them to not force feed both of those guys. So I definitely get the concern, but I don't even think we've seen Jalen Waddle fully unlocked yet. I just think he worked with what he was given year one.
Yeah.
How do you think Cooper Kupp does following his Offensive Player of the Year? I don't know when to speak for you, but I think we both would say regression is probably going to happen.
Regression is definitely going to happen in some way or form. He may not finish wide receiver 1. Maybe he's wide receiver 5. That's a massive regression for someone as a wide receiver 1 that just finished wide receiver 1. You know, when CMC finishes outside the top 3, it's a bad year. You know, like that's how people see it. I think people are going to see it the same way when it comes to Cooper Kupp now.
Hey, I know you're watching, Yo Reach, but this is the ideal scenario for you, my guy. Derek Carr or Mac Jones. If Derek Carr wasn't here, I was going to try for Mac Jones at the 5-3. Derek Carr at the 4-10. Smash draft that if it pops up. Now we got 2 quarterbacks, 2 wide receivers. Instead of going on a quarterback too early with, the 2-10, I feel really good about this start now. But there's no guarantee that quarterback's going to be there at the 4-10. But I'm liking how this is going so far.
Yeah, not bad. I was actually considering Derek Carr at the 4-3, to be honest.
Yeah.
So maybe I should have taken him because I might have to go late quarterback strategy here.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Trey's gonna break my heart. Let's see. Gator says the home league is now gonna start auction, and then after the first 12 rounds, it will transition to snake. Makes sense. Top Travel says, in my real Dynasty SuperFlex draft right now, should I trade up for Zach Wilson at the 505? I don't think I want to trade up for Zach Wilson. I think I want him to fall to me. But I don't know about you, Badaki. Like, I do believe in him enough to take him in the 5th round, but he's not a quarterback that I necessarily want to, like, move future draft capital or change my team construction to go out and get. I want him to kind of fall to me personally.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because we don't really understand the context, 1, of your team and who you have already, 2, where you are drafting on the board. My next pick is 6-1. So you're really going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots, which I'm personally okay with to get a good QB2. You're saying the people that are available: Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson, Tom Brady, Kirk Cousins. If you're going a more futuristic route, I'm happy to trade up, get Zach Wilson, and solidify that quarterback that I believe in. Anything can happen.
I'm going to keep loading up on wide receivers here, by the way. Keep loading up on wide receivers. I personally like to build my dynasty teams with wide receivers, not necessarily running backs early on. Typically, I will do that, so want to keep following a strat. I feel good about this so far.
Yeah, so I'm really happy with taking trading up for Zach Wilson personally. It's only 8 spots may seem, I guess it is a lot in that, especially in the 5th round. But I'm happy to do that move.
Don't you feel like Zach Wilson is going a little bit too high right now in our last couple mock drafts? Like he went 3-1, he went 3-12. I feel like he's more of a 4th, 5th round pick.
100% agree, and that's where I've always taken Zach Wilson. Like it's always Zach Wilson to I feel like really back to back, really close, like 2 or 3 spots difference. And look at it's a couple spots, like 8 spots difference now, 7 spots difference with Zach Wilson and Tua. I think people are getting higher and higher as the season gets closer potentially. So,
yeah, and it actually is a good question that Steven said. What quarterbacks do you have on the board? What's up, Drusif? He says Aaron Rodgers, Zach Wilson, Tom Brady, and Kirk. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like strapped to trade up. I would want him to fall to me personally. It depends on what it's going to cost, though. Like, is it going to cost like a future 3rd, or is it going to cost like
Zach Wilson got taken at the 507? So
okay, well, GG's.
Yeah, I guess.
Yo, Reach.
It's tough.
Says same, first time watching live. Been watching the uploads. That's awesome, man. Glad to have you. Chris says I'm in a 16-team SuperFlex. I took Lamar at the 110, and I'm taking a quarterback at the 207. Allen, Pat, Herbert, Lamar, Dak, Burrow, and Hurts are all gone. Murray, what 3 or 4 quarterbacks would you target? 6 points. Okay, so Lamar, Allen, Pat, Herbert, Lamar, Dak, Burrow, Murray, and Hurts are all gone. Then absolutely give me Trey Lance. That's an easy dub for me.
4 targets. Shit,
1,
sorry.
2, 3, 4,
I was-
5, 6, 7. The first 8 quarterbacks are off the board. Yeah, that's because obviously you're now choosing between like Stafford, Wilson. It sounds like Stafford, Wilson, Watson. But yeah, give me Trey Lance there. That's a smash for me. Burks could actually run today. Let's see. There's been good reports lately. ATJ says Cup should have been MVP in my opinion. Quarterbacks get that every year. He did to have one hell of a year. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I agree, Adam. 312 is pretty bold. What's up, Raphael? Been watching you guys for a week now.
Man?
Night routine is watching these mock drafts. That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Glad to be a part of them. Top Travel says, would Davis Mills be a reliable quarterback too? Ooh. I know Davis Mills played well last year, but I think that team is going to be, again, really high in the draft next year. And we really like the quarterbacks in next year's class. So
Yeah.
I feel like he's more of a 1-year rental than people want to believe, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Can't stay for much longer already. Already 11 over here.
Yeah.
I'm waking up after. Well, no worries, man. All love.
Of course,
Thank you
man.
Through for coming through.
Hey, one thing I would say as well is if you want to watch it, because sometimes it takes a while to process. So if you want to watch it, just copy this link, paste it somewhere where you can find it later. You guys can always watch this, but just sometimes YouTube is processing it, so it's not shown on our page. So if that helps.
Yeah.
Okay,
great.
so we saw Garrett Wilson, Chubb, Cook, Dobbins, McLaurin, Waller, Saquon Barkley, Bateman, Godwin, Akers, Olave, Elijah Moore, Derrick Henry, David Montgomery, Kenny Pickett, and Mike Evans off the board.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. Normally we do see I feel like running backs typically run off the board around round 5. Does that feel like the same for you?
Oh, 100%. Like, for example, I've never gotten Saquon ever, no matter what side of the board I'm on. Because he's always going so early or super. He's always going early, I feel like, in my opinion. For me to get him at the 5'10", I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think now, especially the top half of the draft board are really weak on running back. So I think we're going to see a lot of running backs going
So
here now.
This puts me in a really difficult position because I really I'm okay with the running backs on the board, but there's a lot I'm okay with, and there is one wide receiver in particular that I really love here. I think everyone probably knows who it is. So let's go ahead and load up on another wide receiver. Welcome to the squad, Hollywood Brown. I feel really good about building around these 2 quarterbacks and wide receivers at the 3 spot. I love the 3 spot. Give me the 3 spot every day.
You like the 3 spot?
You like that?
Like that?
Gator says, in Superflex, does your strategy change at all for when to draft quarterbacks in redraft versus Dynasty? Definitely, because age doesn't matter. You don't have to think about next year or anything beyond that. So, Tom Brady's is a first or second round pick in Superflex redraft league.
Mm-hmm.
Steven says 16-team league and getting Lamar at the 110, robbery. I agree. That is robbery.
Even comes to aggression, I don't think anyone in the NFL can guard him. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, he's great. Jameis Winston over Davis Mills. I agree. General Mills for the win. ATJ says. Chris says he read him his mind, just hoping he makes it. Hollywood or Jameson. Clearly, it's Jameson. It's Hollywood. Excuse me.
Well,
sorry.
I actually do have Hollywood. I have Jameson ahead in my dynasty rankings. And maybe we could take that shot on Jameson there instead of Hollywood Brown. That's probably an oversight from me.
That's what I thought you were going with.
Yeah, that is my bad.
For you,
but what I will say is Antonio Gibson falling here to the 7-3. I still think this is ridiculous for someone who has been a top 12 running back every year. He's finished as a top 12 guy. If you think Brian Robinson's talented, then we might disagree. But Brian Robinson wasn't someone I looked at when I scouted him this year and was thinking he could be a really good running back in the NFL. I think he's more of a role player. So let's go, Antonio Gibson. Welcome to the squad. By far the most talented running back in that backfield. Let's see what happens.
By far. Top Travel, who's the worst QB2 in Superflex Dynasty in your general opinion? Oh, man.
I mean, Case Keenum?
I think the worst...
You know, like how far down can we go?
I think the worst one you can have right now, in my opinion, would probably be the Baker Mayfields, the Sam Darnolds.
I was going to say that as well as Seattle.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
I think like the Genos and Drew Locks.
Yeah, I think we will both say we're happy to take Davis Mills, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Daniel Jones, Jared Goff over the Seattle and Carolina quarterback room. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Maybe even Marcus Mariota. We're really happy to take over the whatchamacallit room, Seattle and Seahawks room. Yeah. Sorry, Seattle and Carolina room. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take my guy. Always falls.
Elijah. Yeah, a lot of people saying I would have went JMO. That's honestly a huge oversight for me. And then once I did go Hollywood, I didn't feel like I could now go 5. I felt like I had to get Gibson because I felt like there was about to be a drop off here. So that is an oversight for me. I do agree that I wish I went Hollywood or I went Jameson there. But to be fair, Jameson is still on the board somehow. I'm not going to get him, obviously, but Kyle says, why does Aaron Rodgers look so much like Nick Cage? It was eerily similar. That was really well done by him. Props to the team, to the Aaron Rodgers team.
Apparently, it was like intentional.
Yeah, of course it was intentional.
I didn't think so. I didn't think he.
People do that all the time at the beginning of training camp. They have like different themes and come dressed up as different things.
I think it's just so funny, but yeah. It was just classic. There goes JMO there. Okay.
Jameson Williams with the 8-2 is actually like that is so dumb that he's there, and I'm so annoyed at myself for making that mistake. But incredible value.
Looking at my rankings here, want to grab another wide receiver.
I'm sorry I failed everyone today.
And I currently have Cortland 1 spot higher than Mike, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And I'm okay with that. I thought a lot of people will give me some hate. Not you specifically. Yeah, I think people will give me hate. I think a lot of people love Mike. But what's Mike? 28? 27? What's Cortland? 26?
Yeah, I think they're both great options there. Adam says, I was debating between Hollywood and Evans for my pick. Yeah, right. Really close. Rogers low-key looks like Hunter Biden. I actually don't know who Hunter Biden is. Is that Biden's son or something?
No idea. Probably
when you're out of America, you typically just don't pay attention to America, like politics or anything. It's actually nice. You just don't care anymore. Probably Trey. Atlanta, that's true. Atlanta quarterbacks are pretty bad. Top Travel says, what are the chances of Davis Mills getting replaced next year? I would say pretty high because I think there's a chance that the Texans are going to be a really bad team. It's a very good class.
The teams that we always say,
wild, agreed. Yep.
Yeah, the teams that we always say that are going to have an opportunity to get another quarterback. The Texans are always on that list. Texans, the Lions, the Seahawks, all these guys, maybe even Giants, are all going to have the opportunity to be in the contentions. Not hopefully, but probably in the top 10, top 15, in the 2023 NFL draft. So.
Yeah, not a big Dalton Schultz guy, but I felt like at that point he actually became a really good value at the end of the 8th round. So I was willing to take the shot on him there. If Dalton Schultz wasn't there, I don't think I would have gone tight end. I probably would have punted tight end for a couple more rounds. Steven, I completely understand, and I accept responsibility.
The parent. Not mad, just disappointed. Which team's current RB2 do you think has the best chances to become the bell cow a couple years down the road or sooner?
Oof. I don't know if
Maybe
bell cow is the right word, but I think
I think
people will have good roles. I don't see a
exactly.
bell cow though.
That's what I was thinking. One team I can think of is Tampa Bay with Lenny and Rashad White.
Yeah, that's a
Really
good
good
shout.
roles. Even this one, even this year as well. Sheesh, I'm trying to think of somebody else.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is a good shout.
I guess we keep talking about Tony Pollard, so
I just
once
don't
again,
think
not
he's going to
bell
be a
cow, just the
workhorse
role.
though. Ramondre is not a bad shout, but I mean, to be fair, if Damian Harris moves on, it's not going to be a one you know. It's not going to be a bell cow scenario. Oh, that's tough, man. I would say if all the running backs in Miami injure themselves, watch out for Jared Dokes. I loved Jared Dokes out of Cincinnati. Just never got an opportunity to actually play in the NFL. Just always practice squad guy. Man, that's a hard one.
I'm actually gonna take Damien right here.
Maybe Kareem Hunt. But no, that wouldn't make sense because they would keep Chubb over Hunt. I was more thinking like an injury could bring that.
No.
Yeah, that's a hard one. ATJ says, did y'all see that clip of Detroit's wide receiver coach getting hyped? Yes. And their wide receiver coach is Antoine Randall L. If you guys don't know Antoine, he was so fun to watch. I mean, most of you guys probably know him, but he was such a fun player to watch. But yeah, Antoine was hyped about that. Ramondre, let's see. Spartan is killing this mock. Look at those wide receivers. Good God. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Pittman, Bateman, Lave, Jameson Williams. Yeah, he is actually killing this. Quarterback 2 is only weak spot there. Stephen Day says Herbert, Khalil Herbert, maybe. I feel like if they move on from Monty, they'll draft the running back. Which is more likely to happen? Jacobs moves on from Las Vegas or Hunt gets traded? Man, they both seem... I would say Jacobs moves on from Las Vegas because I feel like the Browns don't need to move on from Kareem. And if they're trying to win right now, it's better to have a more complete backfield. Rank these 4. Terry, Judy, Garrett Wilson, Burks. I'll take you through my rankings, but Aki's is probably different. Mine would be Burks, Judy, Garrett, Terry. But it's close. They're all very, very close.
Mine is Jerry, Wilson, Burks, Terry.
Yeah.
I'm a massive
AJ
believer
Dillon.
in Jerry Judy this year.
AJ Dillon's a good shout, actually. AJ Dillon could. You know, there's a chance that Green Bay could move on from Jones. Probably won't happen, but it's not crazy to say that it could happen, eh?
Shit,
Probably
my light
shouldn't.
just went off. 1 second. I'm sorry. Give me a second.
Probably shouldn't be showing people exactly what I'm thinking on the board, but YOLO.
Here you go, love. Take that.
So you'd give a first for Judy? Yeah. I think we both definitely would say we would do that. I can confidently say Badaki would do that. Okay, Damian Pierce off the board. That was my ideal target there. But let's go ahead and grab Rashad White. If Yo Reach is watching later, we're just going to take a couple shots on some running backs here. Not force it. Gator says, what are some realistic landing spots if Jacobs does move on? I think there's a lot of realistic landing spots for Jacobs. He's definitely going to get starting running back work. But I personally don't think he's going to move on. I just think that is more likely than Kareem Hunt getting traded. Is your videos from 29 to 33?
Sorry, 28 to 33. Excuse me.
28 to
Top
33.
Travel. Why I like Judy so much? Look, I really love the situation. The situation now with Russell Wilson. These guys. Russell Wilson has produced two top 10, top 12 wide receivers, and DK and Tyler Lockett. Talent is significantly different, yes. But I do believe if we compare them in the roles of what Seattle was before, I would say, Jerry Judy is going to be the Tyler Lockett to Russell Wilson, and DK Metcalf, or Cortland Sutton would be the DK Metcalf. Jerry Judy, in my opinion, is a lot more talented than someone like a Tyler Lockett. The route running ability that he has and he can bring is significant. So I'm really high on Jerry Judy this year. There's just so much good that he can do. He just needs to stay healthy. He's just getting two high ankle sprains in the past 2 years.
Yeah,
he was struggled with. He was on and off the field his first year. His second year missed 4 to 8 weeks in the middle of the season, the beginning of the season, and then came back. And plus the situations that he had were terrible. What was it? How many quarterbacks? 6 to 7 different quarterbacks he's played with in 2 years already. It's just not.
I think
okay.
A lot of people struggle to draft Jerry because they haven't seen it yet, and in Dynasty, that's a dangerous. Not saying that you feel this way, Tom, but hey, thanks for the sub, Justin. Appreciate you. But I think a lot of people, we even see it in our comments, like, well, this player did this last year. This player did this last year or 2 years ago. It's like, that's great, but we're not drafting based off of points last year. We're now drafting, projecting the talent, the opportunity, the coaching staff, the offense. So no one's going to get everything 100% right if they cover fantasy football. We're aware of that. But I think Judy is one of those people who, if you're someone who has to see it to believe it, you might miss out on him, in our opinion. But I think Judy is set to explode. I mean, there's so many routes that you can see where he's proving himself as a top route runner in the NFL, not as in top 2, but I think he's a top 15 route runner in the NFL right now. He just hasn't had the quarterback play to really match up with him. And there's other wide receivers who have been in bad positions they produced, but it's a bit of a different situation because they had elite target shares that they've been able to rely on. So Jerry Judy hasn't really had that. So it's been injuries, but we know for sure in our hearts that Jerry Judy is an incredible talent. We just haven't been able to see it yet. So we can understand why some people are concerned, because some people do need to see it. But I think people might miss out on a really, really good dynasty asset here, or a redraft asset, if they end up passing on Jerry Judy. In my opinion, the only thing that stops him from being a top 20 wide receiver this year is injuries. That's it. And by the way, the whole Tyler Lockett thing, I think you and I do see that differently. I do think that he can play out of the slot, but I don't think we need to necessarily talk about Tyler Lockett with Judy, because I think he's just a different player. Like, Lockett is more down the field. He has better speed than Jerry Judy does, but Judy can win in so many different ways that Lockett couldn't. So I think they can both be good. I understand where you're coming from, though. Of course, I'm not saying that it's a bad take at all, but I'm saying I don't think we need to limit Jerry Judy to he's going to be Tyler Lockett. I think he's such a
he
incredibly
so
untapped talent.
And I think when I say I compare him to Tyler Lockett, I mean in the fantasy production and what he has produced. Tyler Lockett with Russell Wilson has always been that guy that has either been honestly, people's well, I don't think Tyler Lockett is going to be that good for the past 3 years because DK came on the scene. But Tyler Lockett has been top 15 wide receiver even when DK came in.
Yeah.
So I guess I mean that in the fantasy production perspective, not in the talent as individuals. But yeah, and Top Travel, I'm kind of just like you. I need to see it to believe it as well, for sure. And I need to see it to believe it. I think more with quarterbacks than any other position, because we can say the same thing with so many quarterbacks. You know, like I say it a lot about Trey Lance. Like I still believe it, but I'm really hesitant. But I still need to see it to believe it about all these people. But that's just a whole different conversation.
I was really considering going Carson Wentz here at the 11-3. I probably should have, now looking back, because this puts me in kind of a hard situation. But Calvin Ridley is there at the 13-3. I know we can debate this all day. I don't have any doubt that he's going to be more valuable this time next year. So I'll grab him. KJ definitely could play out of the slot. I agree.
KJ. Oh, right.
Hamler.
Right. I didn't. I was like, I kind of read it. I didn't read it, but I highlighted it on my screen. Sorry.
Yeah.
In a 12-team league with 30 spots between starters and bench plus 2 IR and 6 taxis.
Sheesh.
Who is your deep sleeper? Like coma sleepers, I should add off waiver wire. Oh my goodness.
Wow. 30 spots between starters and bench. Hold on. So that means 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
It's just
dude,
much.
You're not gonna have anyone on that. That's like leagues that deep. There's no way. I mean, I can try and look through, but I really don't think that we're gonna be able to give you an actual name. I mean, let me try and find, because I feel like you probably have 10 more players rostered than our follower leagues per team, which means there's probably 120 more players not on the waiver wire. So let me scroll down here and just have a look and see if I can find any names that are so far deep. Weidemeyer is probably rostered. Geez, this is tough.
Jalen Weidemeyer.
You know, I can give you names like Cam Sims. He's just been this project player for Washington, but at this point, he's never going to be fantasy relevant. I'm going to try and keep looking for you. Noah Gray, is he rostered? If he's not, it's definitely worth trying. How about Chigo? Someone's probably got Chigo on your league. Traquan Smith is definitely worth a roster in that format. Trey McKitty, also worth a roster, but he's, again, such a long shot.
All these guys feels like long shots. I mean, there's just so many people.
How about Grant Calcaterra? I can't remember how to say his name. Grant Calcaterra, if that's how you say it. I'm pretty sure he played at OU one year. He was relatively successful. He's a tight end. He's currently with Philadelphia. Maybe he takes that tight end 2 role with Philly. What's that worth? Probably nothing. Cornell Powell.
There's a lot of people there. I mean, you can do Denzel Mims. You can do, maybe that's not deep enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Mims is probably rostered. Justice Hill, maybe, in case anything happens this year. Dude, the waiver wires are pointless in a format like this.
Yeah, I agree. HEJ says been hearing some good things about Isaiah McKenzie falling out in the slot. Yeah, same. Might not be a bad pickup. So Badaki would take a 23 first for Judy. I would do it. I'm not saying I want that trade. I would do that trade if
I would do that trade as well.
I was in that position.
The only scenario I'm not doing that trade is if I am trying to be a rebuilding team, because I don't want to be better this year.
Yeah. So I definitely take a 24 first for Judy. But I am not doing that currently.
All right, give me Darrell Henderson here at the end of the 14th round. Where did Cam Akers go? 6'1". Obviously, they're not the same player, but I just always like to look at that.
Always like to look at it, just in case. Just in case.
You know, one is, you know, it's funny. Akers is literally 1 year older, or 1 year younger than Darrell Henderson. But we're all putting Darrell Henderson in this like completely irrelevant category for some reason.
He is though. Like, let's be honest. Not jokes. I'm joking.
Steven says
Yeah.
Lockett and Russ had a mind meld. That's true. It's going to be hard to replicate that. Steven,
Yeah.
I love Calvin as well here. I'm on the board. And I think I'm going to take a shot on one of these quarterbacks here just to get a third guy in the room. Definitely don't see a pathway for Corral. But why not Mitch? If he's going to start the year off, maybe there's trade value. Maybe something crazy happens and he becomes a starter and leads the team to the playoffs. Who knows?
Yeah. ATJ, I probably have Jerry in almost every single league. I'm pretty sure in our follower league. That's how much I'm believing in Jerry.
Sincere McCormick's not a bad pickup as well, Steven.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to get you know what's crazy? I was like, oh, I'm happy with any of these 3 quarterbacks to fall to me when I really wasn't. Because I was like, I'll take Daniel Jones or Carson Wentz or Jared Goff. Jared Goff did fall to me, but he was the last person I wanted, and it's just like, damn, I should just took Daniel Jones or Carson Wentz earlier.
At the 11-10, yeah.
At the 11-10, yeah. So GG's.
That's how I feel about the 11-3. I wish I would have taken Carson there.
Yeah.
But this is the last round, by the way.
This is the last round.
I would feel really comfortable with this team personally. I mean, I know obviously people are going to have their opinions on specific players and could have done things a little bit differently. But if I could lock in Antonio Gibson at the 7-3 every single draft, I would lock that in personally. I think that's incredible value. And then I'm not ready to give up on Sanders. And then you just take shots. You just take shots after that. Schultz at the 8-10. Don't typically go like mid tight end range, but I felt like it was worth it to try and have that advantage there. Love the quarterbacks and wide receivers here. So I hope that helps reach maybe even a little bit with his strat. But we're going to take some time, answer some of your questions, guys. If you could do us a huge favor and drop a like on this stream, that would mean a ton. Currently at 39. Help us get to 40, 45 on your way out. That would mean a lot. We're going to stay behind and answer some of your questions. Chris says Grant is a good one, but if Rucker at Ohio State is available, I would go for him. Yeah, I do agree, Chris. I think you're going to see Rucker rostered. But yeah, if he's available, I definitely agree. Maybe Cruel out of Pitt. Worth looking into. Prob says, well, you've been 0 for 3 on all your predictions so far, ATJ. I have a lot of Judy shares. Let's see. Justin says, what are the size of y'all's total dynasty teams roster-wise? Be happy to walk you through that. Let me bring up a team for you. And some people do come on our channel, Daki, and they're like, what should I do? Like, what format should I do? How big should my rosters be? However big you want them to. You know, like the beauty of Dynasty is you can make it however you want to. You want IDP, you want tight end premium, you don't. You want one quarterback, you want SuperFlex, then you can make it however you want to. This is how we currently have it constructed. SuperFlex leagues. So we got one quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. A lot. It's very common to see 3 wide receivers, to be honest, and I'm really not opposed to that either. A tight end, 2 flex spots, and a super flex spot. In our bench, we have 11 spots. Okay, 11 bench. We have 2 IR and 4 taxi spots. And we have 4 taxi spots because we have 4 rounds in our rookie draft. So however many rookie draft rounds you have, we would advise to have the same amount of taxi spots. And I feel like 11 bench spots keeps the waiver wires at least somewhat interesting. You know, we got Marvin Jones sitting on our waivers. We got Tyrod Taylor, Taylor Heineke, Bridgewater. McKinnon's there, Burkhead, Zay Jones, like Randall Cobb, Sammy Watkins, Cameron Brate's there. So it keeps the waiver wire, 11 bench spots, at least keeps the waiver wire interesting. I feel like if you do leagues where you have 20 bench spots, there's nothing wrong with that. But your waiver wires are pointless then, right? Like Fab is completely useless. It's already pretty useless in these formats, but 15 bench, 20 bench leagues, sell all your Fab for anyone. Fab just doesn't matter.
Yeah, same. I completely agree. Maybe we should do Maybe we should ask the Lima League if they want to do 3 quarterbacks.
3 quarterbacks.
I mean, 3 wide receivers. Excuse me.
Oh,
But I wonder if that would mess with people's strategy because they literally.
It's probably too late to change that.
It's a throw up of a draft board.
Yeah, I think it's too late to change that probably.
Get those 23 first for me, TJ.
What's up, Paco? He says, "Can you give us a look at the complete draft board at conclusion of drafts?" Thanks, guys. Sure, definitely can.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll make our face a little bit smaller here as well. Actually, we'll just get rid of our face here for a second so you guys can look at it while we answer some of your questions.
Yeah, thinking shopping Judy one league, trying to see what you can go for. I think you can definitely get a first. See what else you can get if you want to maybe make a lateral move. I don't know if you want to get someone like a Bateman or Elijah Moore or Hollywood Brown, whatever the case may be. Maybe get some draft conversations with that. ATJ, Brees, and Pickett. Okay, right. Tom. So I got Alfred Waller, Godwin, Sky, James Conner, a 24 first and a 23 second for Chase and Ertz.
No. I think I'm keeping Chase.
Yeah, me too. Sky, Connor, 24 first.
I love Sky. Yeah. I love Godwin. I love Connor, but it's just I would rather have in that scenario the elite Dynasty asset. Connor's aging. Waller's, he's good. Godwin, I love Godwin. So maybe I'm undervaluing this, but I think I'm keeping Chase there.
Yeah, agreed.
There's just there's no actual like superstar. We've talked about this before. If we move an absolute superstar young elite asset, we want to get one back. But I agree. Steven did say it down below. If you're win now, that does fill out your roster really nicely. So I guess it depends on your strategy. But yeah, maybe we're being too harsh. I don't know. I'm taking Chase and Ertz there.
Yeah.
Also, if you have Ertz, I personally feel like Ertz and Waller will not be that far off this year in redraft leagues. Anyway, that's hard.
Top Trav, I need a running back, and the running backs on the board are Gibson, Jacobs, Monty, Elliott, Mitchell, Fournette, Aaron Jones, and James Conner. Best thing we can do is tell you the people in order. If you
also
want.
Are you trying to win right now?
Yeah.
I guess these are all kind of win now guys anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
we definitely have all these guys a little bit jumbled in our rankings. But I have Elijah Mitchell, and this is the order of my rankings that I would do. Elijah Mitchell, Josh Jacobs, Monty, then Lenny, then Gibson, then Aaron Jones. But just to give you a heads up, Mitchell usually falls at the 7-10. I'm not sure where you're at right now on your draft board. And someone like a Gibson, someone like who was the other guy, Monty, usually goes higher. So if you can wait for Mitchell to fall, I think that would be a good pickup for you. But
yeah.
That's my order. I know Zach's a little bit different.
Yeah, mine's going to be different. It would be Josh Jacobs first. I really like Josh Jacobs this year. No, I'm not worried too much about the other running backs there. I think that offense is going to be so good, and there's no reason not to give him the workload. Antonio Gibson would be the second running back for me there. I am much higher on Gibson than others. Maybe it's biased, maybe it's not, but I think he's the most talented running back in that backfield. And he's finished top 12 every single year. And then I would go, I think, Mitchell. Yeah, I would go Mitchell, and then I would go Monty. And then it would be Aaron Jones. Then it would be Fournette, and then Connor. I feel like Fournette and Connor, Fournette in particular, really feels like a one-year rental. I talked about that recently. We did. Fournette really feels like a one-year rental to me.
Yeah, Connor's after Fournette for me, by the way. Just keep that in mind. Not you, but
yeah, I have Connor after Fournette as well.
Yeah,
Connor would be the last person on that list for me.
So keep that in mind.
So yeah, hope that helps. 3 quarterbacks would be crazy. ATJ says if Judy is going in the 4th or 5th in startups, wouldn't it be common sense that you could get a first for him? Yeah, I do think he's worth the first. Yeah. Prob says, yeah, I'm thinking of tearing down with Judy for a player and a first or a second. Depends on who that player is, I guess. But yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a couple people you can go out and try and do that for.
Tom says, I have Mahomes, Brees, Etienne, Chase, DJ Moore, Flex, and Cook. Only start 7. I mean, yeah, if it's a dynasty league as well, and you only start 7, no, you can't move Jamar Chase.
Yeah, don't move Chase. Then
you make that move if you've got a huge starting lineup and you're struggling to fill it. And I don't think Waller is that big of an upgrade over Ertz for this year if you're trying to win. I don't think you make that trade in a start 7 league.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm happy to keep Chase unless I'm getting another tier guy that, unless you're making a lateral move, which I doubt, or you're going to another position, maybe like a JT, a quarterback that you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping that.
Agreed. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out today on both streams. Got a bunch of content coming for you as always this week. A lot of content that we enjoyed making. Hope you enjoy watching it. And yeah,
some cool, fun, exciting stuff coming next week as well.
Yeah. Don't want to say anything, but a couple exciting announcements coming up soon.
So stay out for should we say when the announcement's going to happen so they can be ready on that day? Maybe we should. What do you think?
I would say the announcement will come probably around the time of the supporter-only stream, which those supporter-only streams happen on your guys' Sunday night. So I would say on Sunday night, there'll probably be an announcement.
Yeah. So
yeah,
keep an eye out on that. We're really excited. And a lot of stuff is going to be happening.
Hey, Starlight. Thanks for the sub, brother. Appreciate you.
That's awesome.
Sorry, you were saying?
I was going to say, we'd love to hear your guesses. Put it in, not in the comments, maybe comment down below instead of in the chat so we can come back and look at it later. Also, low-key creates engagement. Nah, all love. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to be part, I know this is Dynasty, but if you want to be part of a redraft league, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. Best way, one, to support the show and unlock a bunch of perks. We are filling up in our redraft leagues. You can go on a wait list for a Dynasty league if you want to select best of both worlds and join a redraft and Dynasty league. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, a bunch of cool stuff coming up. We're gonna be live tomorrow as well, so I was gonna say have a great weekend, but Thursday for us, Wednesday for you guys.
My wife just sent me a bit because we need a bed frame, and like the bed frame that we've been looking at is about $100 less than the one that she just sent me, and she said I found one that's on clearance, but like the bed frame that she sent me is still $100 more than the one that we've been looking at. She's like, oh look, this is on clearance. Yeah. Like we don't need to pay $100 if it's on clearance. It's still more money, you know.
$100, but it's on clearance.
It's like, look at this deal. We're still spending $100 more than we need to. Tom, I was gonna say I don't think you need to sell either of these guys right now. Cooks really fits your strategy if you're trying to win right now. He's a great flex to keep, and Ridley, he is nowhere near market value right now. So I would probably keep both of those guys. But yeah. I'm just going to tell her that's way too high.
It's way too high. All love, huge love. We appreciate each and every one of you. We're really excited. The NFL season is fastly approaching. And yeah, huge love. Huge love.
Appreciate you guys. Drop a like on your way out if you could help us. That would mean a lot. And all love as always. We'll see you tomorrow night. See you then.